So it's been 2 years since I quit my full-time corporate job as a lawyer to start a videography business with my best friend, Jason. Since then, we have learned a whole lot along the way, created amazing experiences, built a multi-six-figure business, hired our first employee, and have made a lot of mistakes along the way. Hey guys, my name's Jono from Sydney, Australia, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the top 10 things that I wish I knew before starting a videography business. Number 1, equipment. What equipment should I invest in as a beginner starting out is one of the most common questions we get in this community. And to that question, my general advice would be if you have the financial means to do so and you're serious about turning this passion of yours into a profitable high income skill, use the money to invest in professional quality equipment from the very beginning. A professional grade camera, lens, lighting, and audio equipment will be all you need to build a really strong portfolio from the very beginning. Now, just a disclaimer, we didn't actually follow this advice when we first got started. We actually started with a beginner $500 camera, the Canon SL2, the kit lens, a little aperture LED light which cost us $65, and a Boya lav mic which cost us $25. So in total, that whole bundle that we got started with was less than $600, and we used that equipment to first build our portfolio, attract paying clients. Once we started getting paid for our work, we then reinvested it into upgrading our gear. For example, in terms of cameras, we went from the Canon SL2 to the Panasonic GH5 to the Sony a7 III, and now to the one that we currently use, which is the Sony a7S III. But looking back on our journey, it would have saved us a lot of time and frustration if we had invested in something really professional from the very beginning, something like the a7 III or the a7S III that would have allowed us to produce really high quality photo and video content from the very start, because it did cause us a lot of frustration along the way when we started getting paid for our work because we didn't have the equipment to produce the quality that was expected of us. Winners don't make excuses. So if this is something that you really want to pursue, don't let the issue of equipment be the thing that stops you from taking the first step. So the second most common question, in addition to equipment and gear, that we get from this community is, how the hell do I actually go about finding clients? And as beginner videographers, only just a few short years ago, we can totally relate. That feeling of knowing that you want to start attracting clients and getting paid work, but you just have no idea where to even begin. So you try dabbling in a few things, you try sending out a few messages here and there, try to build your portfolio, and you try to upload a few posts on Instagram, but nothing seems to stick. And at the end of it, you're still confused as hell. Don't worry guys, we were in that position only just a few short years ago, and we can totally relate to that feeling of frustration and confusion. But 2 years ago, when we started going full-time with our business, we actually hired a business mentor who taught us something that absolutely changed our mindset around this issue. In short, he basically told us that our customers are the result of our marketing and our sales. Marketing is what generates leads, which are people who are interested in working with you, and sales is the process of turning the people who are interested in buying from you into actual paying customers. So if we want to get more customers, all we need to focus on are these two things: marketing and sales. If we want to generate more leads, we need to just increase our weekly marketing activities that we do each week. And if we want to turn more of those leads into customers, we just need to look into improving our sales process. Knowing these two concepts about marketing and sales completely changed our mindset around getting customers. We no longer felt confused and frustrated, and we actually had two concrete concepts that we could focus on each week to create more customers for our business. We created a marketing plan which documents the weekly marketing activities that we need to do each week in order to generate leads for our business. And we implemented a sales process into our business to turn those leads into paying customers. Once we implemented these two things, a marketing plan and a sales process, our constant worry and anxiety of where our next client was coming from disappeared. If we wanted to increase the amount of leads that we got, we just needed to increase the marketing activities. And if we wanted to turn more of those leads into paying customers, we just needed to improve our sales process. Free work is your education. This is a controversial one, but from our experience, I think that free work is invaluable. Think about it. I used to be a lawyer myself, and doctors and lawyers, they have to go through 5 to 6 years of university before they can even get paid to work in their field. We want to become highly paid filmmakers, content creators, but we're not willing to do some free work at the beginning to develop our skills. That just doesn't make sense to me. Just because you don't actually have to go to film school to pursue this path doesn't mean that you don't have to pay for your education in some sort of way. And for us personally, the way that we paid for our education was through doing free work. Our roadmap to getting started as videographers by doing free work was really simple. Make a few home videos to demonstrate that we could make decent content and we weren't going to waste people's time. Created a professional looking Instagram account and started reaching out to 5 to 10 local businesses a day to do free shoots. Did 1 to 2 free shoots every weekend and learned how to direct a shoot, communicate with clients, and produce great content. Delivered that content to the client and asked whether they wanted to work with us again or if they knew who would need our services. Uploaded the content that we created online, built our brand, and started to attract potential clients. We repeated steps 2 to 5 for 3 months from August 2019 to November 2019 until we got our first paid gig in December 2019. If you're just sitting at home, daydreaming about how you're going to turn this dream into a reality, start with free work and start creating opportunities for yourself. Yes, you might not get paid for a while as you're developing your skills, and yes, you might even get taken advantage of by some people, but think of this as your learning process. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there and start generating energy. Opportunities don't just fall from the sky. You have to actually go out and create them. And the best way that we did that when we were starting out from scratch with no credibility and no track record and no experience was to start with doing free work. Number 4, start with the end in mind. In his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey talks about the habit of starting with the end in mind. Have an end goal of where you want to go and then work backwards to determine the steps that you need to take to get from where you want to be to where you want to get to. Let's say your goal is to make a full-time income from filmmaking and content creation, and your dream outcome would be to make $10,000 a month. Start with that as your goal and then work backwards to determine what you need to do to get there. For example, to get to $10,000 a month, all you need to do is 20 projects at $500 per project, 10 projects at $1,000 per project, 5 projects at $2,000 per project, or 2 projects at $5,000 per project. If you break down the big goal down into smaller chunks, all of a sudden that massive goal seems reachable. For us, when we were starting out as beginners, what really helped us was using a spreadsheet to track our monthly revenue. This spreadsheet not only helped track our revenue numbers, but it really shone the light on what things we needed to improve on in order to reach our goal. For example, 3 to 4 years ago, if you look at our spreadsheet, we were doing a lot of small $200 to $300 social media shoots and making around $2,000 to $3,000 between the two of us each month. We were able to sit down, take a look at the spreadsheet and go, okay, we're doing around 2 to 3K per month right now. What do we need to do to turn that into 10 to 20K per month? What we realized we actually needed to do was find a way to increase the price that we charge for each project. And so we sat down and brainstormed ways that we could do that. This included things like looking for ways to increase the quality of our portfolio, combining multiple videos together so that we could sell packages at higher prices, improving our network so that we could generate higher quality leads, and elevating our brand presence so we looked like a more premium service provider who could command a higher price. All of this was possible because we started with the end in mind and worked backwards to determine the steps that we needed to take in order to reach our goal. Now, just before we move on to the next point, I've got something really exciting to share with you guys, and that is that we've recently launched our 6-figure filmmaker starter kit. This kit contains the roadmap, tools, and all the templates that we personally use to build our videography business from scratch to over 6 figures. And this is the thing that we wish we had when we started our videography business back in 2019. And you can check out more details about what the kit includes in the description box down below. And for those of you guys who are serious about turning your passion for videography into a 6-figure income, we do have a one-to-one coaching program where I'll link the link to the landing page in the description box down below. Number 5 is how to 10x our prices. When we were beginners a few years ago, clients used to come to us and say, how much do you charge for a video? And we would be like, okay, we'll charge you $200 to do a promo video for your business. And that would be it. But since then, we have learned to 10x our prices by learning how to sell multiple videos as a package to solve a specific problem. Because if you really think about it, people don't actually need a video. What they need are solutions to specific problems that they're facing. Let me demonstrate this by telling you guys a quick story. A few years ago, a client came to us and asked us to film a testimonial video. We did it for 300 bucks and that was it. A few years later, when we started learning how to actually package up multiple videos at the same time and selling packages, a client came to us again and asked us that they wanted to do some testimonial video. But this time, rather than just pitching them one client testimonial video for 300 bucks, we actually crafted a client testimonial package which would help them boost their credibility and social proof. This whole package was designed to solve a specific problem that the client had, which was how do we actually demonstrate that we have credibility and a track record for achieving great results for past clients. And learning how to package multiple videos into a package that solves a specific problem allowed us to go from charging one video for $300 to now all of a sudden pitching a $6,000 package. Number 6, use a reference video and a shot list to drastically improve your work. So in addition to learning how to combine multiple videos into a package to solve specific problems, the other thing that literally changed our business overnight was how to elevate our production quality by using a reference video and a shot list. Improving our production quality and adding that extra bit of storytelling and intentionality to our projects really helped us go from doing $200 to $300 social media shoots to all of a sudden doing $3,000 to $20,000 brand shoots. I remember the first project when we started using a reference video and a shot list. It was a basketball spec project that's actually on our YouTube channel. I'll link it in the description down below. We went through a whole pre-production process that included sourcing a talent to work with, scouting out the location beforehand and including photos, planning out the shoot schedule in terms of when we wanted to shoot and when we wanted to finish, preparing a bit of a script beforehand, even going to the level of detail of selecting potential music choices before getting onto the shoot. And of course, finding appropriate reference videos and creating a shot list of those reference videos. I remember finishing editing that video and going, wow, what the hell did we actually just create here? It was beyond any other video we had produced previously, and it all came together because we put that little bit of extra intention and storytelling at the beginning of our production process. Not only that, but this project opened up so many doors for us, including securing a lifestyle campaign with a developer, doing a sports commercial with the professional football team in our city. And from then on, we started doing bigger projects for higher budgets. Even to this day, we don't do a project without finding appropriate reference videos and creating a shot list. So I highly recommend, if you're a beginner just starting out, implement this process from the very beginning and you'll see drastic changes in the quality of your work very quickly. 7, find a mentor role model. Success leaves clues. This is one of my favorite quotes from Tony Robbins. And so if you want to find your own success, all you really need to do is find someone who has done what you want to do and mirror exactly what they did. At the start, you have no idea what you're doing. And so the easiest and quickest way to navigate your way to success is just to find someone who is 2 to 3 steps ahead of you and just mirror what they do. Learn what worked for them and what didn't work for them. Follow the steps that they took religiously, measure the success, and then tailor it to your unique circumstances. For us, when we were starting out as beginners a few years ago, the biggest impact that a role model and mentor had on us was just purely the self-belief that they gave us. You see them doing what you want to do and you think to yourself, hey, if they can do it, so can I. Back in 2019, we found our first mentor, Killian, who was actually a photographer. He let us come along to one of his shoots as an assistant. It was a shoot for a local restaurant and bar. And after that shoot, I remember thinking, okay, if he can do that, we can probably start doing that ourselves. And from seeing him do it, we then had the self-belief to reach out to local businesses and start organizing free shoots every weekend. We built our portfolio, started attracting paying clients, and then ended up building the business that we have now. All that would not have been possible if we didn't have the self-belief from our mentor to take the first step. Number 8, the importance of a burning desire. We all have dreams and aspirations in life, but unfortunately, a majority of people in society never end up achieving their dreams. Whether it's developing a new skill, starting a business, or getting in shape, they often take the first step, but once they face a setback, they give up. In his famous book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, he says that the most common trait that he observed from the wealthy and the successful is that they all have a burning desire to achieve what they have set out to do. It's not a hope, it's not a wish, it's a keen, pulsating desire that transcends everything else. It's definite. So ask yourself, how hungry are you for success? Do you have a burning desire to make this work?
How hungry are you for success? What are you willing to give up in order to get what you want? What sacrifices are you willing to make? What excuses are you willing to let go?
How hungry are you to escape that 9 to 5 that makes you die a little bit inside each day and pave your own path? The path of starting a business is not an easy one. It takes a lot of upfront work at the very beginning to even get it off the ground. When we were beginners a few years ago, we were obsessed with making this work. Every single moment of spare time outside of my full-time job and Jason's full-time studies was dedicated to making this work. I'd finish work at 6 to 7 and then work on my side hustle from 8 till midnight. And then on the weekends, I'd be working on it as well. It wasn't just a mere hope that I'd make videography a full-time career one day. It was a keen, pulsating, burning desire. Number 9, develop a brand identity from the very beginning. Whether you like it or not, first impressions matter. And oftentimes, the first impression someone gets of you and your brand is often going to be the determining factor of whether they're going to be working with you or not. So it's crucial that you prioritize developing a brand identity for yourself, something that's going to help you stand out from all the other videographers and content creators out there. And you can actually start building a brand identity for yourself from the very beginning. Ask yourself these questions. Who do I want to see my work? Will my current online presence resonate with them? If not, what steps do I need to take to create a body of work that will? For us, when we were starting out as beginners, we wanted to target local restaurant owners. So we reached out and did free shoots for local restaurants for the next 3 months and curated a body of work in the food and restaurant industry, which we uploaded onto an Instagram page. We didn't know it at the time, but by doing this, we were actually starting to build a bit of a brand identity for ourselves by curating a body of work in a particular industry. The videos themselves were not that great compared to what we can produce now, but at the time, if a restaurant owner came onto our page and saw this, it would highly resonate with them. And even people outside of the industry who looked at our body of work, like the brand that we had created, and actually had hired us for work outside of the food and restaurant industry. Like our first gig was actually an event video for a 3-day Caribbean party. The event organizer had seen our food videos, liked our work, and decided to hire us. So that's the power of actually curating a body of work in a particular industry and creating a brand identity for yourself. And finally, number 10, you will never feel ready. I know I say this a lot in our videos, but I think it's super important for beginners to hear time and time again. Start when you don't feel ready, because if you wait until you're ready, you will never start. If we had waited until we got some more professional equipment before we started reaching out to local businesses and organizing those free shoots, we never would have learned those soft skills of learning how to direct a shoot, learning how to communicate with clients, and having that body of content that we could then start uploading and attracting paid clients. If we had waited until we thought that our portfolio of work was ready enough for us to start uploading online and putting ourselves out there, we would never have been able to develop a brand identity for ourselves and attract paying clients. Just remember, your biggest learning, the biggest opportunities are on the other side of your comfort zone. And you just have to always just start when you don't feel ready, because otherwise you will just never start. And if there's anything that I want you guys to take away from this video, it would be that mindset of just starting when you don't feel ready. And those are the 10 things that I wish I knew when I started my videography business. But lastly, the most important one that I haven't actually mentioned is just to enjoy the process. Putting yourself out there, being vulnerable, and trying to walk the non-conventional path is not something that everyone can do. So don't forget to congratulate yourself for being brave enough to take the first step. Most people in life will play it safe and work in a 9 to 5 job for the next 40 years of their life. So be kind to yourself when you make mistakes along this journey or when things don't work out, and just remember that this is all part of the learning process. 40 years from now, when we're old and retired, we're going to be looking back on that time when I decided to take a risk, quit my stable, high-paying corporate job to pursue a videography business with my best friend. All that time, we got to film for a ski lodge, and I saw Jason stack it on a toboggan. These memories that we have created by starting this videography business go beyond just those superficial achievements of building a 6-figure business or reaching a $10,000 or $20,000 a month. And those are going to be the things that ultimately will make our lives richer. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys found these 10 lessons valuable. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button to get notified every time we upload a new video. And with that, guys, I will see you next time.